Hey guys, MT Meister here, and today I'm just going to be basically going through the tier list I made of all the megaten games that I have played. I'm going to be starting from the bottom, so in D tier, I have DX2, which is basically the mobile gacha game developed by Atlas. I didn't really get into it. I thought that the AR feature was cool. You know, you could take pictures with demons or put them in your house and stuff, which is why I have it in D because that's like the only thing I found fun in the game. C tier, Majin Tensei. This game I would say, has a strong start. The start of the game, the pacing is alright. If you guys have seen the Marsh video on this game, you'll know that this game becomes an absolute slog down the road and it's just so long. Each level can be upwards of an hour, and if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. It's just terrible. Um, yeah, so that's why it's in C. I do like some parts of it, and I'm currently playing the sequel to it, which I think the sequel is like the best UI ever. I swear, it has like amazing UI. Anyways, moving on. Okay, so the farther something is to the right, that's like where it places on that tier. So like the bottom of B tier is the original Shin Megami Tensei. Well, this isn't the original. This is the PlayStation version because that's just the one I played. But yeah, this game has a good story. It has a good story. I think the characters are pretty good. I think the atmosphere is amazing. But my main problem with it is that you can win the entire game on auto battle. It is not a hard game at all. Even on the hardest difficulty, which it adds a difficulty above just normal in the PlayStation version extreme, it's just not hard at all. Like it's so easy, which is why normally I don't judge games off of how hard they are because Mario games are easy. But like I don't know, it's just when there's an encounter every 2 steps and then you just want to fight a boss that's like kind of challenging and they're all just like you can just win on auto battle, it's kind of meh. And also I don't like some of the backtracking you have to do in the game, and the encounter rate is really high like I said before. SMT if now, if you've heard of SMT if, you've probably heard this game is ass. Why is it in B tier? um I think I like SMTF. I like it a lot. I like all of the worlds in the SMTF except Sloth. Sloth is a pain in the ass because you have to wait 4 hours going back and forth in the same part of the building over and over again. And yeah, it's hard, but I think once you get past that and before that, I like the simplistic story. I like the school setting. I like the demons. I like the final bosses. I'm yet to play Akira's route, and I will do that eventually. But yeah, just it's B tier. Up next is the original Persona. Now this game, a lot of people say that it is, it's like a lot of people say it's bad, but I like it. I like the game. I think there's not too much special about it, but it has charm. I like how the battle system is different with like the rows and stuff than the modern Persona games. I like how the first two Persona games you can have different personas on your party members. I think that's cool. One thing I really do not like about this game though is the actual system on like how to acquire a persona, because they simplified it going into Persona 2, but in Persona 1 it was just a mess. It was just an absolute mess. But yeah, this game, I like the story. I think the final boss is pretty fun. I've played Sebek. I haven't played Snow Queen Quest, which I've heard is way better than Sebek. Uh, so I'll get around to playing that eventually. Now, this is a controversial one. Persona 3 Portable. Some of you were probably saying, why is this game in B tier? It has FemC. It has, it's like one of the only games besides SMTF that allows you to pick male or female character. It's just boring. Like, the UI in this game is just boring. Okay? Tartarus is just boring. It's like the atmosphere of this game, it doesn't like get like it doesn't reach the highs of the other Persona 3 versions, because I feel like, in Persona 3 you witness like the downfall of things. You see like tons of people moping around and stuff. But like I feel like in this game it's just like looking at like like a 2D just like image and just going across it is just so boring to me. But the combat's good. I like the female protagonist. I like how much they added with the game. It's just I do not like the style of it at all. Now moving up into B plus tier, Jack Bros. Jack Bros is just the definition of a classic fun arcade game. It's on the Virtual Boy, which is like the worst Nintendo console of all time, but it's like the best game on there probably. I don't know, I haven't played the other ones, but this game was fun. It's just simplistic. You have three characters: Jack Frost, Pyro Jack, and Jack the Ripper. They all play differently. It's just fun to go throughout the game and just try and beat it with all the different characters. It's just a little time, and it only takes about a couple hours to 100% the game. Now, up next is SMT2. This game, great characters, great atmosphere. I like the boss fights in this game a lot more than the first one. It's just one of the problems I have is I think the middle of the game is very slow. I don't like the I don't like the quest with the 7 pillars. I don't like the quest where you have to find all the Masakato parts that I just looked up on a guide. But I think the characters, I just think a lot is good about this game, except the actual, I don't like the overworld. I like the overworld, I think it's cool. I just don't like exploring the overworld, you know? And I think it can be confusing on where to go sometimes. Now, SMT4 Apocalypse. This is probably one of the most divisive games in the entire Megami Tensei roster. Some people love it, some people hate it. I think it's B+. I think the combat in this game is absolutely amazing. I think the changes they made from SMT4, the original, to this one are amazing in the combat. And the UI is also really great. But the the characters are so corny sometimes, and the story isn't as well written as the original one, as the original SMT4. There's the home slice went banana cakes line, and I'm playing that, and I'm like, what? Who wrote this? Is there some guy in Japan who's just like, oh yeah, people say this. People say that this was 2016 when this came out. I don't think people said that in 2016. I don't think people said that at all. But yeah, I don't like the love triangle that's going on between Nanashi, Toki, and Asahi. I think that was very cringe. I didn't like Asahi's character at all, or Toki's character. I I just didn't like them. I thought they were kind of annoying, and I thought, just tone the simping down a bit. But I really like the divine powers. The divine powers in this game are amazing. I love them. I love Krishna. I love Odin. I love all of them. They add an interesting twist to the story. I do think the final dungeon, YHVH's universe, is kind of trash because it's just so long. I'm just like, okay, let's end it up here. But I think the game is good. I think it's a good game. I think most megaten games are good games. There are only a couple that I would say are bad, like Last Bible Special. I tried playing that game, and instantly I just got like, it's just so cryptic and stuff. Like, oh my god. All right, now Persona 3 Reload, A tier. You guys are probably wondering, okay, A tier is pretty high, but I would have placed it higher. It's just I'm not a fan of Persona 3. Well, I am a fan of Persona 3. What am I saying? I think it's overrated, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's a great game. I just don't think it's as good as some of the other ones. I love the personas in this game. I love the combat. I think it's really good. I think it's fleshed out. I like how they added Shift in this game. Some people were complaining that it's too much like Persona 5. I think Shift is good in this game. I liked it. I also liked the extra stuff they added in. I just think if you want to play Persona 3, this is the version you got to go for. They're even doing the answer. So, yeah, you got to do that. There's no FMC, but, you win some, you lose some. I think it's a good game. All right, first Raido Kuzunoha game. This game, I love the atmosphere of this game. I think it's probably the best atmosphere ever. I love the detective style. I love the little title cards after every chapter. I love the music that plays. The dun it, dun it, dun it. I love that. I love that part of it. Um, yeah. I think the combat's really good in this game. I think the characters are good. I think some of the time it can be like, where am I going? Where do I need to go for this? But I think overall that this is a really fun game with really fun combat and a pretty fun story too, and fun dungeons. And there's you can argue that there's like some points in the story that are like, okay, there's no way I would have guessed this, but sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm stupid for not knowing that. All right, this next one is the first megaten game I ever played, Persona 5 Royal. It was on Xbox Game Pass. I had an Xbox, I had Game Pass. I'm like, this game was a 95 on IMDb or Metacritic, whatever it was. Let me play it. It's got to be good. And it was good. It was really good. Persona 5, combat's great, story's great. The only thing I think sort of drops the experience is some of the palaces can just feel like Okumura's just like, okay, this dragged on a bit too long. Um, yeah, but this game is great. And also, some of the characters, like, the incident with Ryuji, he just saved your ass and you're beating him up. Like, I mean, I probably don't get it. It's probably some, like, Japanese trope, but, why'd you do that? He just saved your life. Don't do that. Anyways, but yeah, no, this game is really good. I didn't like the argument Morgana and Ryuji had though. That was kind of stupid. I feel like it was just forced to add a twist to the plot. But other than that, I think the game is an amazing game. Now in the A plus tier, Digital Devil Saga 2. I like this game slightly less than the original. I don't know if that's a hot take or not. I just like the original slightly better. But this game is amazing. It has amazing characters. It's a brand new game. Because some of like the SMT4 Apocalypse, I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but it reused a lot of assets. I mean, you can tell like same locations and stuff. This game is brand new because they're in a complete brand new world. It's amazing. It's just complete new stuff to explore. It's really fun. The characters are great. The cutscenes are great. The voice actors are great. It's just great. Okay, spoiler warning for the game. I don't like how they killed off all the characters just to have them come back at the end. I thought that was kind of like, like you just kill off maybe a couple of them, don't bring them all back. But I sort of like how they came back because you get to see him again, like Cielo. Cielo died, and he's one of my top favorite characters in all of megaten, so that was sad. But yeah, it's just a really good game. As you can tell, I didn't really have a script going into all this. I'm just talking. So, yeah. Moving on to the first Digital Devil Saga game. This game's amazing. Love the story. Love the boss fights. I love the mantra system. I do think the mantra system in the first game is better than the one in the second one. I just like it more. I think it's more simplistic. But yeah, I think the game, or the reason I like this game more is that it's just a bit more simple. It has a bit more charm to it. Yeah. So yeah, this is just a great game in general. I know I'm saying that about a lot of this, but it really is. These are great games. If you have the chance, you should play like any of these ones on the top. The original SMT4. This game's amazing. I love the setting with being in Mikado, being a samurai, and finding out that you're not the only people in this world. There's a complete world of people under you. That part is great. The boss fights are amazing. I do think that the smirk system was kind of like and I think the partner system was kind of because there's the famous example of Walter casting Agi on the Minotaur and just making him smirk and then wiping your entire team. So yeah, but there's not much I can say about this game that hasn't already been said. It's just an amazing game with amazing characters. Walter and Jonathan, great Law and great Chaos characters. I love the Infernal and Blasted Tohio sections. I just think it's great. I think it's a great game. Now, this is the cream of the crop here. the S tier ranking games. First up is Devil Survivor Overclocked, not the original. I haven't played the original. I just played Overclocked. Um, this game is great. I think this game. Oh my god, the combat in this game. It's different. It's fun. It's great. I love the skill crack system. I love all that. Um, yeah, I just love. I like the characters in this game. Some of them don't feel as fleshed out as they could have been, but I still like them all. Like Atsuro, Yuzu, Naoya, Kaido. Like I like all of them. I got Naoya's ending. I thought that was pretty fun. I thought I liked it. Um, One problem I had is that the eighth day. I did the eighth day on Naoya's route at least. I haven't played the other ones, but I did not like the eighth day that much on Naoya's route. But I'm not gonna put that down on the game. If it was good, I would have put it real up. But like, I'm not gonna bring it down because of that. It's just I don't. It wasn't the story about the eighth day I didn't like. I thought the story about the eighth day was really good. I thought it added on a lot to just the base game, but the combat was what dragged it down for me. The combat of the eighth day, it's just like fighting up against a bunch of angels and stuff, like that have super overpowered moves. I'm like, okay, it's kind of crummy, but yeah. Other than that, the game is just amazing, and I recommend anyone play the game. Okay, Persona 2 Eternal Punishment and Persona 2 Innocent Sin. I said them in reverse order because that's how they are in the tier list, but I feel like I could flip flop these games. They are both amazing. I really like them both. I think the characters in the game are good. I think the combat's good. I don't think the combat is anything special, but I think it's good. I think it's if I were to have one problem with the game, it's the combat. Um, just because I think it's a bit too simplistic, but I think I like it still. Um, Persona 2 Innocent Sin, if you can tell, I did my challenge run on it, and it was decently hard. Some of the bosses were hard, like the Bolon Kitu and stuff like that. That I spent 3 hours on trying to come up with a strategy. I'm like, okay, I just died again to some random move, or he inflicted War Cry on me, so now I can only do physical attacks, and I can't cure that, which is you know. But I had to get pretty lucky to beat the game. Now, Eternal Punishment is gonna. I'm gonna do a video on Eternal Punishment. I'm gonna do either it. I'm gonna probably do Tatsuya or not Tatsuya, Maya only Eternal Punishment run, and I know I'm gonna get my ass is gonna. I'm gonna get wiping the floor. They're gonna wipe the floor with me. Is what I'm trying to say. Um, I loaded up one of my save files from late game in the game, which late game, it's gonna be hard. But I tried to do a random encounter from late game with only Maya, and it was hard. Like seriously harder than like 90% of the bosses in the solo Maya or solo Tatsuya run. It was hard. Um and I went into the boss against like I think it was against spoiler warning, Shadow Maya and Shadow Baofu so it was like a trio of two of them. I don't know exactly who, but it was hard. Mainly because Shadow Maya resisted all the moves because I was using like her prime persona or whatever, but yeah, no, it was hard. It was a hard battle. I don't even think I won because I think I'm gonna be more over leveled because I'm gonna get all the experience in the boss fights, but still it was hard. It was really hard. I've been talking about this too long. These two games are great. Moving on. Now, my second favorite game in megaten is Nocturne. Call me basic all you want. This game is amazing. Um, I love the press turn system. I love how it basically you know, pioneered the system for all the other megatens in the future of it. This says HD remaster. I couldn't find the Maniacs just version. I didn't play HD remaster. I played Maniacs. Um, so yeah, I liked the story of it. I think there's only one problem I have with the game, and it's the characters aren't very fleshed out. They're like their motivations. I feel like they change sides a bit too quickly, but other than that, this game is amazing. It has great combat. It's hard. It's really hard. And yeah, so I think this game is great. Now, Persona 4 Golden is my favorite Persona game and my favorite megaten game of all time. This game is seriously like in my top 3 games of all time. I love the characters in this game. I love the story. I love the combat, even though it can be easy as hell sometimes. I just love this game, and I love this game so much. I like the main character. I just like it. I like it a lot. I think the social links in this game are especially great. But yeah, this game is just really, I don't even know what to say. This game is really great. And yeah, so what I like most about this game is definitely the characters. I think every single character in the investigation team is great, even if they are annoying at sometimes, like Rise simping for the protagonist, and Chie and Yosuke bickering sometimes. I think it's great, especially Kanji. Kanji is an amazing character, and I think he's voiced by the same voice actor that does Ikichi and Walter. So if you look at my top 5 characters in Megaten, 3 of them are voiced by the same guy, Walter, Ikichi, and Kanji, which is kind of funny. But yeah, anyways, this is my favorite game in Megaten. It's just so great. And if you are gonna play any of the games, this is the one I recommend. Actually, I don't know. I feel like this game is not the one I would recommend because it kind of has a long intro. If I think you're gonna play any Megaten game, probably either play SMT5 Vengeance or Persona 5 Royal, because they just have they're the most like up to date and stuff with all that. So yeah. So this has been my tier list for Megaten. I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. I don't know what that's gonna be yet. If my next video is the Maya Eternal Punishment video, expect a while because my school is starting back up. So yeah, I'm gonna have to balance this and my Eternal Punishment run. I haven't even really started it yet. I'm gonna try and up the editing, because I know the editing in my Tatsuya run was kind of so I'm gonna try and make it like edited more like a, just like a, I don't know, better video. So anyways, yeah, see you next time.
Okay, this seriously won't work.
Why is that?
Obviously, Sarah isn't this tall, her hair is way different, and her arms ain't that thick. Oh!
Well, excuse me.